Welcome to the Black-Liberation.Tech podcast, brought to you by Jordan Nuance LLC and hosted by Dr. Renée Jordan. This podcast is a accumulation of Dr. Jordan's dissertation work and her passion for empowering Latinas, Afro-Latinas, Black women, and girls to navigate the academic and professional worlds with confidence and success. Whether you're a mother or a guardian guiding a child through grades 6 through 12, an undergrad or grad student, someone working on a dissertation or thesis, or simply looking to carve out your niche in the career landscape, this podcast is for you. Each episode, Dr. Jordan shares her story, offers invaluable advice, and provides practical coaching to help you thrive in school, work, and beyond. Join our community on patreon.com/Black-Liberation.Tech and become a member for as low as $5 per month. As a member, you'll gain exclusive access to live recordings, impromptu academic and career coaching, and a network of like-minded individuals committed to mutual support and success. You're also welcome to follow Black Liberation Tech on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Visit Black-Liberation.Tech for even more information on Dr. Jordan's adventure in Inglés o Español. Tune in, get inspired, and let's embark on this journey together. Welcome to Black-Liberation.Tech, where your success story begins. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Black-Liberation.Tech podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Renée Jordan, and today we are going to take another look at our Safety First series on the Black-Liberation.Tech open educational resource. So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right. So the Black-Liberation.Tech website is available in both English and Spanish. We're going to head on over to lessons. And from lessons, we are going to select owning your digital space. Okay. So here we have an image that was generated by Gemini. The title of the story that will set the scene for us today is called Owning Your Digital Space. Okay, so here we go. Scene: Multimedia Center After School Recreation Center. The room is filled with soft chatter, posters of tech careers on the walls, and a big screen displaying the words Protected Access, Owning Your Digital Space. Nicole Bakula sits in a circle with the girls and their mothers, laptops and tablets open on the table. Nicole, smiling, adjusting her seat. Hey, buenas tardes, everyone. I'm so happy to be here with you all. So today I want to talk about something that's big for me, like really big. Access to technology is amazing, right? But for me, it's all about protected access because you can give somebody a computer, a phone, a connection, but if it's not safe, that access can get messy fast. Celia, leaning forward. What do you mean by protected? Like passwords? Nicole, passwords, see, but also more than that. I work in privacy. My job is kind of funny. Sometimes I joke that we researchers stalk people, but in a good way. We want to know what apps you love, why you love them, but we also protect you. Like, I don't just collect data, I guard it. And at home, I have this little thing, a Raspberry Pi. It blocks trackers, ads, all that noise, makes me feel at ease. Like, okay, I'm in control of my space. Esperanza, nodding. My phone's always full of random ads. Like, I just say something out loud and boom, I see it on Instagram. Nicole laughs knowingly. Oh, girl, that's real. That's why protected access matters. We can love tech, but tech doesn't always love us back, you know. Nina, mother. I try to watch what my daughter does online, but sometimes I feel like I'm behind. They click on things so fast, I don't know what's safe anymore. Nicole, Nina, you're not alone. It's hard. That's why we gotta have these talks, because protection is teamwork. Like Esperanza, Let's say you're clicking on that ad. What do you think it wants from you? Esperanza, my money, or my info? Nicole, exactly. And once your info is out there, you don't always control it. That's the part that makes me wary. So I set limits. I barely use social media, not because I hate it, but because I want choice in what I share when I share it. Asada, but what if I want to post my poem online? I want people to read it, but not steal it. Nicole, I love that question. That's where protected access gives you power, not just tech. You can post it with a watermark or copyright note. Use sites that give you control over who sees it, and double check what info you give those sites first. Ruby Mother. My biggest fear is someone pretending to be them online, like catfishing. It's scary. Nicole, yep, that's real too. It's not just hackers, it's people misusing what we share. That's why I tell every girl I mentor, before you click, before you post, ask yourself, number one, do I control where this goes? Number two, do I trust who's on the other side of the screen? If the answer is no, maybe keep it close until you're sure. Frida, Mother. My daughter loves drawing and wants to start an online art page, but I don't know what's safe for a 12-year-old. Nicole, Frida, I'd say you two can set up layers of safety, like training wheels. Use a parent-monitored account. Only post art, no personal info. Keep comments off until you're ready. It's not about saying no. It's about saying yes, but safely. Maria, Mother. I wish schools taught more of this. My daughter knows coding, but not privacy. Nicole, nodding passionately. That's why I do this work. Giving access is not enough. We need protected access where kids can dream big, learn big, and stay safe, because you all deserve a future online that's wide open, but not wide open to harm. Erica, Mother. I like that. Access with protection. Feels like teaching them to swim with a lifeguard there. Nicole, exactly. The internet is a big ocean. I just want to make sure every one of you has a life jacket, a map, and someone watching your back while you swim. The girls exchange glances, nodding. A sense of mutual understanding fills the room as mothers and daughters begin sharing small safety pledges they'll try at home, like checking privacy settings together or pausing before clicking post. All right, so that was our story. Now, with the story in mind and your own experience, here's its point in time where you reflect and write. Guarding your digital space. Instructions. Read the prompts below and write your thoughts in your journal or digital notes. If you're working with your mom or guardian, take turns answering and then share your ideas with each other. Number one, digital door. Think of your online space like your home. Who are you letting in when you accept cookies on a website? How could you control who comes through that door? Eyes and ears in your space. Many devices, phones, laptops, Alexa, Google Home, have cameras or microphones. How do you feel about them being always on? What steps could you take to guard your privacy? Location sharing choices. Some apps ask for your location. Which apps truly need your location to work? Which ones might be tracking more than necessary? How can you limit access? Cookie settings check. When a website asks you to accept all cookies, what do you think that means? How could you take a moment to review or reject certain cookies to keep your data safe? Unwanted listeners. Imagine you're having a private conversation at home, but a device is listening. How would you know if this is happening? What settings could you change to stop it? guarding your camera. How do you make sure your camera isn't used without your permission? Write down at least 2 actions you can take. Example, camera covers, turning it off, adjusting settings. App permissions audit. Pick one app you use daily. What permissions does it have? Camera, mic, contacts, photos, videos, location. Are you comfortable with all of them? Which ones would you change? Sharing with care. Before posting something online, imagine if strangers could see your home, school, or neighborhood from that post. What could you do to guard your space and keep your location private? Setting family rules. Write one guard your space rule that you and your mother or guardian could agree on to keep your digital space safe at home. How would you make it a habit? And the last one, your personal guard plan. If you had to make a 3-step plan to guard your digital space this week, cookies, tracking, listening, camera, what steps would you include? Why are these important? All right, so those were the reflect and write questions. And at this point, I just want to share that one of my pet peeves are apps that have access to too much information. So whenever I download an app, I make sure that I check the settings. I check them on the app side in terms of going to my settings, selecting the app, and then taking a look at what it has access to, whether it's my contacts, photos, videos, location, camera, microphone, and whatever it doesn't need, I turn it off. For example, unless it is an app where I use it to actually speak to somebody on the other line, I cut off the microphone so that I know that that app is not listening to my conversations. Another thing I do is that I go to the privacy settings on my actual phone for the device. So not just the app, but the actual device. And that way I can scroll through to see what is being shared individually. So in terms of my microphone, in terms of my contacts, in terms of my photos, in terms of the camera, in terms of videos, location, etc. And that way I can double check to make sure that something doesn't have access to things that I don't want it to have access to. One of my precautions in general is that I don't just download any app. It has to be absolutely necessary. And when I say absolutely necessary, meaning it doesn't repeat the function of another app. So if I already have a phone and I have a WhatsApp, I don't need to be able to call people on Instagram. Anyone that I want to call, they can call me on my phone. As much as possible, I try to limit the number of apps that I have. I want to make sure the ones that I do have are absolutely necessary and I can control them the way I want, or understand that I will have to limit what it has access to in order to use it. For example, the social media apps that I have on my phone do not have full access to my photos and videos. I limit what photos and videos they have access to. I limit it to specifically the photos or the videos that I plan on posting. And anything that I don't plan on posting, it does not have access to. That way, I don't have any accidents where I'm uploading images and videos to an app that I don't want to be posted to the world. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the next activity. Digital detectives, guarding your space in a connected world. Objective, to empower girls and their mothers to investigate how technology interacts with their personal data, recognize risks, and create a personal guard plan for safe online engagement, demonstrating advanced digital literacy skills through self-led discovery and teamwork. Materials needed: laptop, tablets, or smartphones, one per pair. Internet access, access to a search engine like Google, DuckDuckGo, Bing, etc. Access to generative AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, or something similar. Personal journal or digital notes app, one per participant. All right. Activity instructions. Step 1, detective mission brief, 5 minutes. Read this out loud together. Today, we're digital detectives. Our mission is to find out how our favorite apps or devices see, hear, and track us, and then make a plan to guard our space while still enjoying technology. Each of you chooses one app or device you use often. Here are some examples: TikTok, Instagram, Google Maps, Alexa, school Chromebook. All right, step number 2. Search engine investigation, about 15 minutes. Use a search engine to answer, how does this app or device track my data? How can I change privacy settings on the app or device? Does app or device listen or record me? Record 3 key things you learned in your journal or notes under these headings: cookies and tracking, location sharing, listening, and camera access. Talk it out. Share your findings with each other. Did you find anything surprising or concerning? Step number 3, generative AI analysis. This should take about 15 to 20 minutes. Open ChatGPT or Gemini and ask, explain how app or device uses my data in simple terms. Number 2, what are 3 ways to protect my privacy while using app or device? What settings should I review to guard my space on, and then insert the app or device name. All right, write down new advice or insights in your journal. Compare them with what you found in your search results. Talk it out. Do the AI tips match what you found online? Which do you trust more? Step number 4, risk versus benefit discussion. Together, discuss and write your answers. Opportunities. What benefits do you get from using this app or device? Threats. What privacy or safety risk did you discover? Deal breakers. What settings or practices will you change immediately? Talk it out. Agree on one change each of you will make today to protect your space. Step number 5, build your 3-step guard plan. This should take about 15 minutes. Using everything you've learned, write a personal guard your space plan in your journal. Number 1, immediate action. A setting or permission you'll change today. Number 2, regular habit. Something you'll check weekly or monthly to stay safe. Number 3, family rule. A shared rule you and your mother or guardian will follow to guard your digital space. Talk it out. Share your plans with each other. Would you add or change anything? And here's an optional challenge after the activity. Try a different search engine like DuckDuckGo or Bing and see if the results change. Ask ChatGPT or Gemini, how can I explain my privacy plan to a 10-year-old? Create a mini poster or phone wallpaper with your guard plan rules to remind you daily. All right, so learning outcomes. By completing this activity, you will use search engines effectively to investigate privacy settings, use generative AI to analyze and cross-check information, understand cookies, permissions, location tracking, and listening devices, build and practice a personal, actionable guard plan for your technology use, strengthen your skills to think critically, discuss openly, and make safer choices online. Now, for those of you who are saying to yourself, I really did give my daughters these electronic devices, whether it's a laptop, iPad, cell phone, and they were just speeding right through it. It seemed like they were able to catch on faster than I did. Here are some conversation starters that you can use so that you can talk about how they're using the technology now. So whether they need to make adjustments in their use, changes in their use, edit their use in terms of turning different privacy functions on, or cutting other things off like microphone, location, video, camera, etc. Here are some conversation starters that will hopefully help you to talk about the things that are of concern, specifically when we're talking about having access to technology, but not just access, but protected access to technology so that the information that you want to keep safe stays safe. So, in other words, if you're looking for a way to start the conversation after it seems like your daughter is already an expert, here are some ways that you can discuss it. Likewise, daughters, these are some conversation starters that you might want to have with your parents. Perhaps your parents aren't aware of all of the different things that they open themselves up to every time they download an app. They may want to keep up with what's happening, but might not understand all of the permissions that they're giving to an app when they download it if they don't check the actual settings. So let's take a look at these conversation starters. Here's a bonus of conversation starters for girls and their mothers or guardians to keep the discussion about guarding their digital spaces alive at home. What's one thing you learned today about cookies or trackers that surprised you? Which app do you think knows the most about you? And how does that make you feel? If our devices could talk, what do you think they'd say they know about us? How would you explain to a friend why you don't share your location with every app? What's one thing you wish every website asked before collecting your data? How can we make checking app permissions a regular habit, like locking our doors at night? What's the scariest thing that could happen if we didn't guard our space online? Which setting do you think is the most important to change first? Cookies, location, microphone, or camera? Why? If you could invent a tech feature that protects privacy better, what would you do? And the last question, how can we remind each other to stay careful online without making it feel like a chore? So that's our safety first lesson for today. I wanted to make sure that I shared with you that you are able to own your digital space. And that means that with every new technology that you acquire, whether it's a cell phone, a tablet, a laptop, a game console, make sure you check your privacy settings. Make sure you check the settings as it relates to your location. Check the settings as it relates to your camera and your microphone. When you go to a website and it says, hey, do you want to accept all of these cookies? Look for the feature that says confirm my choices so that you can pick and choose which ones you actually accept, which ones you decline, and perhaps you even want to figure out if you really need to go to that website if it's not giving you the option to choose. Thank you for tuning in to the Black-Liberation.Tech podcast, brought to you by Jordan Nuance LLC and hosted by Dr. Renée Jordan. We hope today's episode has inspired you and provided valuable insights to help you navigate your academic and professional journey with confidence and success. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, as well as rate and review the podcast to help it become more discoverable. Whether you're guiding a child through grades 6 through 12, tackling undergraduate or graduate studies, working on a dissertation or thesis, or exploring your career options, this podcast is here to support you every step of the way. Join our community on patreon.com/Black-Liberation.Tech and become a member for as low as $5 per month. As a member, you'll enjoy exclusive access to live recordings, impromptu academic and career coaching, and a network of like-minded individuals committed to mutual support and success. Don't forget to follow Black-Liberation.Tech on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Visit black-liberation.tech for even more information on Dr. Jordan's adventures, available in both English and Spanish. Stay inspired, stay empowered, and keep moving forward. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.